Today we're going to talk about something we all use every single day, but maybe don't think about too much. We're going to decode that invisible language that runs our digital world. Yep, we're talking about the ghost in the machine, software.
I mean, think about it. You tap on an icon, and boom, a whole world just opens up. It feels like magic, right? But what's actually happening? What's the secret sauce that brings that cold, hard metal and glass in your hand to life?
Well, the answer, of course, is software. You can think of it like, a silent conductor. It's the set of instructions that tells the hardware, which is super powerful but honestly kind of clueless on its own, exactly what to do. From showing you this slide right now to letting you text your friends.
So, here's what we've got on tap. First, we're going to look at the foundation, systems software. Then, we'll get into the fun stuff, the apps we use every day. After that, we'll do a quick review to make sure it all sticks, and we'll wrap up with a little quiz to see what you've learned.
All right, let's jump right in. We're going to start with the most fundamental, most powerful type of software out there, system software. I mean, this is literally the bedrock that everything else is built on.
Okay, so this diagram really helps visualize how it all works. See that big box right in the middle? The operating system, or OS for short? It's the master controller. It's the essential bridge, kind of like a translator. Without the OS, you, your apps, and the actual hardware, well, you'd all be speaking different languages. Nothing would get done.
Seriously, you can think of the OS as the ultimate multitasker. It is constantly juggling all these crucial jobs behind the scenes without you even noticing. It's managing memory. It's directing all the traffic on the processor. It's standing guard with security. It even handles your print queue so your stuff doesn't come out all jumbled up.
Okay, so if the OS is the boss, then utility software, that's its essential maintenance crew, right? These are the specialized programs that are designed to keep your computer tuned up, optimized, and just running smoothly. We're talking about things like antivirus software, file managers, even tools that do specific cleanup jobs.
And here's a fantastic example of what one of those utilities does. So, every time you save a file, sometimes the OS has to break it up into little pieces to fit into the empty spaces on your hard drive. Over time, it starts to look like this bookshelf, a total mess, right? You've got parts of the same book scattered all over. That is called fragmentation.
So obviously, your computer needs a way to clean up that messy shelf. And the process it uses? Well, that's called defragmentation. It's basically a cleanup utility that goes in and puts all those scattered pieces back where they're supposed to be.
And voila, here's the result. After that utility does its thing, all the parts of your files, or, all the volumes of your books are neatly organized, right next to each other. And this makes a huge difference. It's dramatically faster for the computer to find and read the data it's looking for.
All right, so now that we have our foundation, the system software, let's build on top of it. It's time to talk about the tools we actually see and use every single day. Application software, or, what we all just call apps. So, here's the key difference. Unlike system software, which is all about running the computer itself, applications are all about helping you get stuff done. They're the specialized tools designed for pretty much any task you can think of, whether that's writing an essay, editing a photo, or managing a big project.
And trust me, the variety out there is just immense. It covers the whole gamut, from your standard office tools and database management, all the way to creative stuff like editing images and sound. It even goes into things like controlling the lights in your smart home.
So, for example, take spreadsheets. There are these incredibly powerful tools for anyone who has to work with numbers. You can build financial models, run all sorts of complex calculations, and even ask those critical what-if questions with your data.
Then you've got the more creative side of things, with apps that let us play with images. With these tools, you can completely alter photos, you can create digital drawings from scratch, you can change basically anything, from the color and lighting all the way to the entire composition of a picture. Now this is really interesting. When it comes to how software is actually made and shared, there are basically two competing philosophies. You've got free or open source on one side, which is all about freedom and community. The source code is out there for anyone to see, to study, to improve. But then you have proprietary software. This stuff is developed in secret, it's owned by a company, and that source code, it's a closely guarded secret.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So just to make sure we've got the essentials locked in, let's do a super quick review of the main ideas we've talked about.
So this table really sums it all up nicely. Remember, software is the big umbrella term. System software is what runs the machine. You've got the OS as the boss and the utilities as the maintenance crew. And then application software, well, that's your personal toolbox for getting things done. All right, you've seen the ideas, now it's your turn to put it into practice. Don't worry, it's nothing too serious, just a quick, friendly quiz to see what you've picked up. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, first question. Think about what it's for. Is this program designed to help the computer run itself? Or is it a tool to help you do something specific, like, say, write a letter or make a budget?
And you got it. It's application software. Why? Because they're tools designed to help you, the user, get a specific task done, something that has nothing to do with actually running the computer.
All right, last question. Let's think back to that messy bookshelf analogy. What was the name of that super important maintenance task that put all the scattered books back in order?
Yes, defragmentation. That is a classic, perfect example of what a utility program does. It's a type of system software, and its whole job is to keep your system optimized and running as fast as possible.
So getting this fundamental structure down, this idea of a stable bedrock of system software with this crazy dynamic world of applications built right on top, is absolutely key to understanding technology today. And that leaves us with one final thought for you to chew on. Which of these two layers do you think is evolving faster right now? And what does that race to innovate really tell us about where our digital future is headed?